Okay, so what we're working with today is points, lines, and planes. You have some different vocabulary that we have to be able to use. And so collinear right here, remember this is just points on the same line. So if I have a line, things are collinear if they're all on the same line. Coplanar means that they're on the same plane, so same idea. If this is my plane, then they're all on this plane. Intersection, remember an intersection, two lines are going to intersect at a point. But when you have two planes intersect, if I have a plane here, and then I have a plane that goes here, these planes actually are going to intersect at this line right there. So lines intersect at a plane, planes intersect at a line. All right, remember that a line, we'll go to red, is just a line and it has two arrows. It goes both direction. A line segment starts and stop. Non-collinear is opposite of collinear. Points do not line up on a straight line. Non-coplanar, you're going to have some points on the plane and then maybe some points off the plane. For opposite rays, you have one ray going to the right, and then that other ray starts at the same points and goes the opposite direction. So opposite rays actually just look like a line. A plane, remember, is a flat surface, and it's represented with a parallelogram. A point is a capital letter, point R. A ray starts in one way and goes one direction, so it starts and goes in one direction. And then undefined, those are your points, lines, and planes. All right, so now we have some examples, and the first one we need to do is we need to be able to describe what it's saying. Well, first of all, if you notice, I have this parallelogram here, so I'm going to call that I have plane K, and you see how this line, it has arrows at both ends of it, so we know it's a line. So since that is on top of it, we use the word contains. So plane K contains line AB. And remember, line AB can also be written as BA. Either way, those mean the same thing. Okay? For number 2, if you notice this first one here, I have an endpoint at G and an endpoint at F. So that's line segment GF. So I put a segment above it. And that segment is intersecting this other one. And this other one, let's change colors so we can see. This other one starts at C and keeps going. So that's a ray. So it intersects ray CH because that's one of the endpoints. And I make the arrow go above H because the arrow does go past H. And it intersects with it at the point. And that point is right here. Ooh, oops. That point right there. And so that's I. Sorry about the scribble. All right, let's look down at the last 3 examples. So you have to look at the picture here to talk about what it is. So coplanar points. Well, first of all, if you notice, I have some different points. I'm going to highlight them real quick. So I have point A, point E, point D, point B, point C, and point F. Those are the points. The L is not a point. The L is actually the plane. So the top plane, this capital letter is for a plane. All right, so for the first question, it asks for 4 coplanar points. Well, really what I have is, and I'm going to color this so I can see, I have the plane on top, just kind of up here, that blue plane. Okay, and the points that are on that blue plane, some of them are easy to see. The first one is A, and then there's point B, then there's point C, but then this one here, D, is also on that plane. So the 4 coplanar points are A, B, C, and D. You have to put commas in between. If you don't put commas in between, then that means that it's a parallelogram or it could be a rectangle. You need the commas. So number 4, a line. A line has arrows going in both directions. And so it's my line right here. So it's line AB, and you have to put arrows above. Or you can write line BA. A line segment, I don't really see a line segment, but if I look at where there is a line, if you notice here, if I just start at A and go to B, that's a line segment. So the line segment that I have is AB, and I just put a line above it, which is the same as BA. So if I ignore the stuff past it, that makes it a line segment. And that's all a line segment is. That's why there's end points at the end. It says to stop. So then now we need to name the 2 different planes. Well, I highlighted that one plane, baby blue, light blue. So that's plane L. Or, remember, planes can also be named with the 3 letters. It could be plane, oops, I don't know how to get rid of that. It could be plane A, B, C. It could be plane A, B, D. Could be C, B, D. See, if there's any kind of combination, B, A, D. So it's any of those combination with those 4 points. The second plane, this bottom plane, has to have those 3 letters, and there's only 3 points on that plane. So it has to be EDF or FED or DFE, etc. So it has to be those. Okay, so going back, the most important thing from this lesson is your vocabulary. You have to learn these vocabulary. Without learning this vocabulary, it's going to be difficult to understand how to read it and draw the pictures.